We just started this horse. He is right at his 30 days. He had been to another trainer before me to get the groundwork done. So he was pretty much ready to step on when he came to me. And he is a BLM Mustang. And one of the things with him is he gets scared really easily. So what I have been doing is some work to help build his confidence. And that's what the subject of this video is going to be. We're going to talk about how your confidence and how you ride can make your horse better or can make your horse worse. This is a type of horse that if you rode real timid, this horse is going to get worse. And this is actually a common problem, not just with horses that are started, but with some older horses. If you ride, or even on the ground, if you act like there's something to be afraid of, the horse is going to pick up on that. And the horse is going to become afraid. It's part of how they interact as a herd, because one horse says, oh, there's a predator, then the other horses pick up on that danger. And it's the same way with your interaction with your horse. So in the process of all this, I want to get him softer to steer and see how he pokes his head out. This is the horse that I talked about, that the bars are up higher in his mouth than normal. So to get on the bars, I have to put the bit a little higher with a few more wrinkles. I'm trying to play with the adjustment up and down to find a compromise spot so that I'm high enough to where it's comfortable for him on the bars, but I'm also not so high that I have a whole bunch of wrinkles in his mouth. So that's something I've been playing with in and out. I'll put a link to the bit, a picture of the bit down below. It's just a plain smooth D-ring snaffle. Nothing special about it. But he's kind of resistant in the face. I think that has something to do with how his mouth structure is. So I've been working on that from several aspects, with adjusting the bit, regular softening his face cues, using my legs like I've done in other videos. But in the process, I'm also wanting to build his confidence. Get him to draw his confidence from me. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to ride down the alley. I've done a couple of videos there where it's going to worry him, but I'm going to take charge. And I'll show you how that works, and we'll talk about it. So let's head down the alley. So what I want to do, I told you that he's kind of a scared, reactive horse, but I really don't want him to act that way. I want to build confidence. So what I'm doing is I am riding confidently. See how his ears are forward and he's a little bit worried. I'm going to go ahead and pull his head. I'm going to bump on him with my legs a little bit. He knows what all that means. Saying, hey, pay attention to me. We're going to go over here. Send him back forward again. And I can feel his body relax, and I can feel whether it's stiff. He's kind of blowing a little bit at some things. I'm going to do it again. Pay attention to me. Bump on him with my legs. Send his feet forward. Take control of his head. Draw his confidence from me. Draw your confidence from what I ask you to do. He was captured out of the wild, but he was captured out of the wild in Idaho. So the terrain looks a lot different here than it does in Idaho. And he has been out here a few times. Nope. See how he kind of stopped and started getting stiff, looking, move his feet. Move your feet. I'm not going to let him just stand and look at whatever he's worried about. Because if I let him stand and look, then he is in charge and I am just a passenger. Can't just stand, move his head, bend his head, move his feet. Not going back. I just kicked right there and his ears came back. The timing of my kicks, there we go, good boy. Pat him as we're walking over the bridge. The timing of my kicks there was real important because I could feel whether his body was leaning forward or whether he was thinking about coming back. Every time he would think about coming back, I would kick. Every time he would think about going forward, I would leave him alone. Very subtle. But it's very important. Let's go back the other way. So now he was unsure about crossing that bridge, but I was able to get him to do it by being in charge. Now, if you have a horse that you just try to whip on to do something, cross a bridge, cross the water, if you just start whipping, it's not going to work. Just like I said about how I timed my kicks, that's the important part. That's the part that people don't get. I timed my kick according to what he was thinking about. And you saw that I didn't go straight up to that bridge and force him across it. I made a few circles before it got bad, before he really strongly told me no, to establish that I was in charge. Now he's got a pretty decent walk. We ain't gonna trot. Got a pretty decent walk. We're gonna walk out here a little bit. So it's the little things that I did before we got to the bridge that made crossing the bridge attainable. If I had not done those little things at all or not done them correctly, we wouldn't have crossed the bridge. So I want to ride him out here, wide open space. It's a good time to work on our steering. He just saw the salt block holder right. Wide open space, and he just saw a horse in the pasture over there. Any better? Okay. So there's a salt block feeder over there. There's a roll of hay right there. Horses in the pasture right there. A lot for him to look at and be worried about. There's also a stump there he wasn't looking at. A lot for him to look at and be worried about. So I want to stay in charge, just like I established coming out here. Stay in charge. Do what I tell you to do. And everything's going to be okay. This kind of horse It end up becoming a problem later if the rider doesn't stay in charge. So see how he's kind of just laying down and taking me here, taking him there, taking me there. So I'm pulling on his head, sending him somewhere, just like I did coming down the alley. There we go. He walks on. Nice. I'm gonna leave him alone. Now he's trying to take me over to the left. Pull him around. Say, no, we're not gonna go over there. Let's go over here. Wanting to smell that stump. Let's move around. It's all about focusing him on me, maintaining my authority. If I let him smell a stump or smell a bush and take me over to the salt feeder, he's going to start making decisions, and he's going to start in his mind, he's going to become the leader. Well, later, when we come across something scary and he has been the leader, it's going to be a problem. He's not going to accept my leadership. Right now, out here, this is where he learns to accept my leadership, do what I ask him to do, not what he wants to do. This is what's going to make the other stuff later better. Walk a little bit out here. We're not going to trot. All we're going to do is walk a direction. Turn around. Move your feet. Now let's walk over here. He has to accept my direction for speed control, just like he accepts my direction for going where I point him. We're not going to trot. We're only going to walk. And we're going to go where I point you. Now walk on the bottom of your feet. Not going to the hay. Now let's walk back over here. Riding in the arena, he doesn't do near as much of this wanting to take me someplace because there isn't really places to take me. It's a walled-in arena. So this kind of thing is much better worked on out here because we have all these objects to draw him. Draw to the hay, draw to the salt, draw to the other horses. So this is where this is trained and established. I don't video much of this out here because it's just kind of hard to set up. Notice I'm doing most of it right here in this one spot. I normally cover a whole lot more ground. So when I'm out here and not being filmed, I'll use this whole pasture here. See how he wants to, a minute ago he did. He was wanting to speed up. The more ground we cover, the better I can work on that. Staying in this one spot, we're not going to work on it as good, but we're going to mostly stay in this one spot. Getting much better. He still tries me a little bit, but not as hard. I'll walk on the bottom of your feet. Ground is uneven, and he's not really paying attention to where he's putting his feet. He's paying attention to where he wants to go. Sometimes where I want to go. There we go. This is the way back to the barn. We're not going to head that way yet, but we will in just a minute. I'd like to make a little bit more progress. Then we'll head back. There's horses over there. We're not going to stop and look at them. I'm going to be in charge. We're going to go over here. Little thing, that little tiny action. Nope, we're not going to trot. Not going to trot. I control speed and direction. Now let's walk over here. I try to balance out so that I pull his head about equal amounts both directions, left and right. If I notice that he's a little stiffer one way than the other, then I will pull the stiffer way more until it balances out. Right now he's fairly balanced. Right might be a little bit stiffer, but it's not a lot. Oh, going over here. So we'll start working our way back to the barn, and we'll see how he goes. I'm going to maintain the exact same thing I've been. I maintain leadership. I control speed and direction. I'm going to be in charge with my direction, with my hands. I'm going to be in charge with my legs, telling him to go. This is a pasture that my working herd of cows has turned in, calves. And they stand right here by this gate to become in the feed, so plenty of cow poop right here. There's some electric tape laying on the ground there. That's what he's eyeing at. I want to go around it because it is hot laying on the ground. The group of cows is in eating. I do this kind of work riding out while the cows are in eating. I kind of got my hand down, just kind of riding like I would a broke horse now. He's looking around. Oh, I had to pick my hand up, tell him to go. He's looking around. As long as he's riding like a broke horse, I'll treat him like a broke horse. If you don't ever treat one like a broke horse, they'll never become broke. He should have more drive to go back to the barn, drive to walk forward because we're going back to the barn. I'll take advantage of that by rewarding him and putting my hand down, but I'm not going to let him speed up. We can't go more than just a medium walk. There's a little divot right there. He kind of looked at and quit moving his feet. So I take charge. Hey, we're going to go. Don't mind if he looks. He can look all he wants. I want him to be aware of what's out here, but he has to maintain speed and direction. See what happens when we get to this bridge. Slow down, give him a little kick, 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 and relax. Good boy. Good boy. A lot of times they'll kind of surge right there. So I'm gonna come back across the bridge because they surge coming away. That's pretty common there because the bridge is a scary item. Going back to the barn is the item that they want to do. So it's pretty common. Just about all of them pick up a trot as soon as they come off the bridge. Not going to accept that. Just like I said, I control speed and direction. Now, as soon as we step off the bridge, we're going to circle left. There we go. I control speed and direction. Let's go back across the bridge again. Good boy. All right, let's finish. I don't have spurs on with him because at this point I want to use that kick. I will change to spurs. There we go. No trot. Good boy. He's thinking about it. Let's go ahead and circle. He didn't trot, but he was thinking about it. Walkie circle. Good boy. Good boy. He's walking back nice, so I'm leaving him alone. Oh, we scared Mac. Mac wasn't paying attention. So this is Kiowa. He is a BLM Mustang, there's his brand. And he's gonna be a really nice horse. Really like this horse, he's sensible. He worries, but he's sensible. That's important to me. I'll put a link up here to his playlist. Until next time, thank you for watching.